So yeah, I'm here to talk about the summit tomorrow, which is a really good time to start talking about tech problems because there are always a few of them. So I just wanted to jump on quickly and run you through the workshops that we're going to run for this year's summit. They are fantastic as usual. I've got so many presenters this year, 32 workshops, quite a few bonus sessions. Yeah, and I think it's going to be an awesome event. So just let me have a look here. All right, and I'll do my fancy screen share thing and I'll run you through the page. So I'll be a pro at juggling this. Okay, here we are. It looks like I've got that up now. So as I said, lots of workshops this year. We've got 32 confirmed actually, and then we've got a few bonuses. So I will briefly go through the 30 workshops. One of the bonuses we're doing is all about registration. So we don't have a great deal of standard workshops this year about registration. So we've put together a special one on the middle Saturday. We'll be covering all the states except Tasmania because that has its own workshop. And we'll be doing a big Q&A at the end of it. I think there's 7 presenters or something for it. So if you have any registration questions, that middle Saturday is going to be your day to sit down with pen and paper and ask all of your questions. All right, so just make sure this looks okay. Yes, it's working. All right, Annette says she just signed up now. Welcome back, I think, Annette. I recognize your name. All right, so the summit is all online. You don't have to go anywhere. We run it all through the computer. Most of the workshops are live, so you get to ask questions in real time. It's pretty much just like this. It streams to a Facebook group. There's also Zoom links if you don't want to be on Facebook. You get access to all of the recordings afterwards. So they're generally up for 3 years. Which sort of tends to drag out to like 4 years by the time I actually get around to, you know, taking them down. But you can download them as well. So if you want to keep them forever, you just download them and you've got them. You can also listen to the MP3 files if you'd rather listen, and lots of the presenters provide, you know, workbooks and guides and all sorts of stuff. And also they provide lots and lots of discounts and giveaways. So I think I've already got a list of about 20 discounts and giveaways happening in the group that you can access right now. All right, so that's all before we get to the standard workshops. So tomorrow I'm going to kick it off by talking about real life skills. So a bit sort of make it, bake it, sew it, grow it, all that kind of stuff, and how we can use that as part of education. And also just, you know, to have a bit of fun and be practical and get skills and all that kind of stuff. Belle is going to be talking about homeschooling preschool. Now, she's taken 7 of her own kids through preschool, and she's also pretty active in the community. So she's got lots of great tips. Esther is here to talk about how to not be anxious about maths and how to be confident about it. And she has been obsessed with maths for a very long time, homeschooled her own 5 daughters. So again, great person to talk about it. Now, on Tuesday, we've got Neil from Money Time talking about reasons to teach your kids about money, live Q&A after that. And he has also got a really fantastic discount for Money Time. So make sure you look at that when you join up. Then we've got Jamie, who's talking about planning with purpose and ease. So, you know, how not to overthink and overdo it and get your planning done without too much stress. Andrew talking about project-based learning. So project-based learning is pretty cool. It's kind of like unit studies on steroids, I suppose, more a bit of a cross between unit studies and unschooling. It's pretty self-directed, but you have, you know, your kids have a purpose and they have a project. And that's been his passion and education. You know, he's an educator and he's been involved in that for many, many years. Rachel in the afternoon, always lots of people's favorite ways to tap into your child's different learning abilities. So, you know, how to teach in the way our kids like to learn, basically, which is what it's all about. All right, I'm just going to have a quick look at the chat. All right, beautiful. So there's a few people watching. Yeah, if you want to leave a comment, ask a question, anything like that, go for it. All right, so on the Wednesday, we've got Karen from Simply Homeschool. She's going to be talking about all the different curriculum services and resources, and how to go about choosing the best one for your family. And she's got a really comprehensive guide along with that. Anastasia's going to be talking about mental health for parents and children. So she is an unschooling mum of 5. She's also a clinical psychology registrar with her master's in psychology. So very qualified to talk about that. Anthony, story time with Uncle Ant, as we usually say. So he'll be talking about living books and reading from some fantastic books. And once again, we'll probably see if we can bribe him or convince him into recording audiobooks so that we can all listen to him more. Then we're moving on to Thursday. So Mandy is talking about how to simplify things, but also how to get the maximum education from it, because it's really, really easy to overcomplicate things, do too much, or think you should be doing more. So she's going to help you take that stress away. Now, this Reflections of a Homeschooling Journey. This one looks really fun because Kylie collected 4 other long-term home ed parents, and they sat around a table together and reflected about their highs and their lows, the things they loved and the things they regret, and recorded it all for us. So I'm looking forward to that one. Right, and then we've got Freya and Bearbell in the afternoon talking about conscious parenting and unschooling. So Freya did a radical unschooling one last year that was really popular, and now she's teamed up with Bearbell and they're doing one together, all about it. So things like screen time and games, food, bedtimes, will my child ever learn, all those questions that people have about radical unschooling. On the Friday, we've got Rebecca English, who is a researcher. And she's going to talk about what do we actually know about home ed. So, you know, for many years, us homeschoolers have been saying, well, the proof is in the pudding, go to meets, talk to teenagers, all that kind of stuff. But there is actually research out now, and Rebecca's going to walk us through some of the results of that. Heidi is going to talk about making more of a connection with your kids and removing that contention and the arguments, and, you know, basically having a more peaceful environment that leads to more learning, because no one learns when they're stressed out and arguing. It doesn't happen. All right, Amanda has collected a bunch of teens, a bunch of homeschool graduates, and they are going to be talking live, so uncensored, about what it's like to actually be homeschooled. So you can ask some questions if you want, you know, anything you might be worrying about. You know, you're sitting there with your 5-year-old going, what's she going to think of when she's 20 and she's been homeschooled her whole life? Will she miss school? All that kind of stuff. So come along and ask, and we'll see what they have to say. It should be interesting. All right, so that is the first week. And like I said, we've got a big registration workshop on the weekend. In that first week too, Heidi Conway is going to be running a journal challenge over the entire summit, and she's going to facilitate that with live workshops and prompts and further articles and all sorts of stuff. And I'm going to be doing a few Ask Me Anything sessions, which might be a bit scary. So I'm taking questions and submissions for that. You can ask me anything. I will do my best to answer it. I will rope in other presenters to come and join me if it seems like it's their area of expertise. And yeah, we'll see how weird we get. All right, so for the second week, we're going to start off with Anne Leach, and she's going to be talking about socialization and will your child have any friends? So, you know, what social skills are, how you can go about developing them and facilitating a social life for your child. So Anne is a parent of an only child, so she's got some great tips for that. So Nat is back again this year. She talked about game schooling last year, and now she's talking about the power of play, which is one of her special interests. So Amy is also back in this year. She talked last year about, I've gone blank now, I think it was homeschooling with autism, and now she's talking about homeschooling your neurodiverse child. So parenting, the homeschooling philosophy, practical examples. So if you're currently in the weeds and you're thinking, how am I ever going to manage this? Come and check that out. On Tuesday, we've got Fabian from Education Perfect, and he's talking about creating an inclusive learning environment. So, you know, one that caters for different learning styles and abilities without, you know, necessarily sending your kids off to do completely different work apart from each other. Now, Melinda's going to talk about holistic education and DIY resources. So if you've seen her site, Deer and Fawns, and her Instagram, you'll know that there's lots of beautiful handmade stuff there. And she's going to talk about how to make your own, how to improvise, all that kind of stuff, so that you can also have lots of beautiful hands-on resources without necessarily going and spending a lot of money. And in the afternoon, we've got Sarah Mcdonald from Happiness is Here. And she's going to be talking about what you actually do when you unschool. So I'm sure you've all read Sarah's Happiness is Here blog and you follow her Facebook page. And she's going to tell you what you actually do all day, because many parents think when they start unschooling that they just got to kind of sit there and not be involved at all and let the kids reinvent the wheel. But she's going to give you some fantastic guidance on, what your days might look like, how to support your kids' interests, all that kind of stuff. So you're not just a passive watcher, you're actually involved. All right, we've got a lot coming up this next 2 weeks, haven't we? So on the Wednesday, Frances is going to talk about the early years of literacy. So how to get them ready before you move into formal school, and also tips and tricks to help you make that early literacy journey as easy as possible. Then following on with the wordy stuff, Erin's going to be talking about nurturing a love of literature with your children. So how to create a culture of book loving in your home, read alouds, and basically just how to get your kids reading more and loving it, because her family definitely do. Right, Tamara, I don't know where her description's gone. Down there, I don't know why it's there. Anyway, I'll have to fix that. So she's going to be talking about developing a permaculture approach to home education. So any of you permies will know that there can be a lot of overlap, with permaculture principles and all that kind of stuff. And she's taking a different approach, and it's not so much her coming and saying, this is what you do. She's going to do more of a collaborative workshop, and everyone will be able to throw in ideas and contribute. And at the end of it, everyone will have that guide at the end of how to integrate the permaculture principles and approach to home ed, which I think sounds kind of awesome. All right, Thursday, second last day, Christy Forbes from Intune Pathways. I'm sure if you have a neurodivergent child or you're a neurodivergent adult, you have probably heard of Christy, because she is amazingly popular in that space. And she's going to be talking about unschooling neurodivergent children with radical acceptance. So yeah, Christy's going to share her experience as an autistic parent to autistic children in regards to education needs and learning pathways. So that should be pretty cool. Next up, Pamela, more about books. So she's going to be talking about using books to enrich your child's learning and life. So why books underpin all of her home ed and how she uses them. So everything from picture books, comics, poetry, all sorts of stuff about getting into books and making them fun. All right, Kat is going to be talking about gifted children. So I think this is the first gifted workshop we have ever had. So yeah, she's going to turn up and talk about her experience of home educating her own gifted children. She's pretty involved in the gifted community in Tasmania. So if you're currently struggling with keeping up with your child, then this one will be a good one to come along and watch. So Patricia, also known as Rose to lots of people online, is going to be sharing unit studies. So how to do family learning with multiple ages. So she had a bit of a standard start to homeschooling, as in leaving the school system, moving to distance ed, and then moving to homeschooling. And they have settled on unit studies and also how to put together family plans to pass your home ed registration. So that will be pretty good to listen to if you have kids of a few different ages and you want to cover the same topic and you want to put it all in their plan and get it approved. Come along to that one, because she has managed it. I love these experimenters. Right, last day. Vicky is going to talk about HESP writing in Tasmania. So this is what you do to register in Tasmania. You write a HESP. She is going to walk you through it step by step and give you lots of examples for you to follow. The wonderful Lucy, who again is always very popular, she is going to talk about eclectic homeschooling. You know, your DIY method where you don't really fit into a style and how to put your own together. And then Tamara Kidd's going to wrap it up with what is it really like to homeschool your children. So she's, Tamara is a teacher. She is a homeschool parent. She has had so many years involved in education. And she's going to talk about what it actually looks like day to day and over time and all sorts of stuff. So that is fantastic. It's going to be heaps of fun. All of that is only $29 Australian. So you get everything for that. There's this one full price. There's no upgrades. There's no, pay extra to get access to live or anything like that. We just give it all to you for that one low price. And you can join now. The group is already happening and the live workshops start tomorrow. So, you've got to get onto it today, really, if you want to get all of it. All right. I'm going to turn that off. Let's have a look. We got any questions? All right. So, Megan said, I've stumbled across this. Is this like a course? Is there a cost involved? Yes, there is a cost. It's $29, which is pretty awesome for everything included. We try to make it as affordable as possible. Sarah wanted to know, is there a Facebook group for this year's summit? Yes, there is. So all of the workshops will stream into that group. That group is already going. There's already posts. There's already stuff happening in there. Annette said, do we get sent an invite to the Facebook group? In your welcome email, you get a link to the group, and in every other email, you get a link to the group. You just request to the group with your email that you use to purchase your ticket, and we approve you after that. Bev asked, do we just watch them online when we can? Yes, if you can watch them online, that's great. If not, they're all recorded. So they're all added to a website and you can go there at any time for the next couple of years and watch them. If you've got crappy internet at home too, you can download all the MP4s. So, you can download them to your computer or a USB stick or something and, take them home or take them out back or whatnot and watch them whenever you want. So Jane also asked, will these be recorded? Yes. If so, when will they be made available to view? I get most of them up within 24 hours. So I try to get each day's finished on the same day. So I'll download the live ones, edit them pretty minimally, and then upload them to the site. So 24 hours max, fingers crossed if everything goes well. So Megan says she's not great at specific times. No, me neither. Recordings are there for as long as possible. Yeah. All right. Any more? Bev asked, where is the group? It's called Australian Homeschooling Summit 2022. If you've got a welcome email or anything like that, it will be in there. You could probably also search for the group too. It's not a private group. So just search for that, request, make sure you drop your email in that you bought your ticket with so we can double check and you'll be in tonight. All right. Jane said, fantastic. Thank you. I'm looking forward to learning. So am I. So something else lots of people ask is it just for new people? No, it's definitely not just for new people. I mean, I've been homeschooling my 5 kids for 15 odd years now. I think I've got 3 that have finished and I still get lots of awesome new ideas for this, but more importantly, I just feel better after it. I think it's just a great community. There's so many people in there. We're seeing all their great ideas and it kind of carries me through the next part of the year. Okay, Sarah just found the link in her welcome email. Beautiful, glad you got that. Make sure if it's in spam, you mark it as safe. There's so many emails going out at the moment. I think I can't remember how many we're up to. I think we're over 900 people have joined up already. It's always that last minute rush. Sky is excited to watch again this year. Welcome back, Sky. Good to have you back. All right, so I think that covers it. Is there any more questions? Just let me know quickly. I'll go through again just in case. All right. So if you've got any more questions at all, just drop it onto this thread. I'll come back and answer them. The link is in the title of this video. And I've also just dropped it in the comments. So Heidi says, I learn every year after 6 years homeschooling and definitely leaves me feeling great too. Yes. So Heidi is our presenter, running a workshop and also running the journaling challenge, which she did the other year and was very popular as well. So yeah, come along, join, sign up, do all the fun stuff. I mean, you can always get the recordings afterwards in a few weeks' time, but the live stuff is the best. It is so much fun. So come and join us. All right, I'm going to go have some dinner. And hopefully I will see you all tomorrow for my first workshop at 10 a.m. Make sure you're in by then. See ya.